Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast of the true party of the summer. Not Summerfest, not SummerSlam. It's Lost in the Midcard. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. And as always, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard and hit subscribe. That way you know every time a show hits your ears, typically every Thursday and also every Monday after a pay-per-view. I'm a little under the weather, so we're coming at you a day later here on Friday, but also we'll be right back at you on Monday as well with our reactions to Takeover Brooklyn and SummerSlam. We're also subscribable on YouTube, and the links to both of those are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/lostinthemidcard, and also is in our notes section there, and also on our pinned tweet on Twitter at LITMC Podcast. As always, my co-host on the show, he is on Twitter at RawF Showtime, is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm ready for fucking Summerfest.
Summerfest, baby.
If you're not excited about Summerfest, you better check your pulse.
If you ain't excited about pro wrestling, you better check your pulse.
It's just going to be a big weekend for
Ring
pro
of Honor,
wrestling, man.
Ring of Honor, which we won't cover till Thursday of next week. But Ring of Honor. Oh, actually, we may cover it Sunday. Who knows? We'll see.
I don't know.
Ring of Honor Friday. Takeover Brooklyn Saturday. SummerSlam Sunday. Raw Monday. SmackDown Tuesday. All sorts of fun stuff. Lots to talk about, so let's get right to it. The wellness policy seems to come in bunches as 3 people were slapped with a wellness violation. All 3 people, their first on the record for them. So each suspension is a 30-day suspension, and they'll be able to return, I believe, September 17th is the date. First one that was announced yesterday was Alberto Del Rio. And then not too far behind him was his girlfriend, Paige. Very interesting, Matt, that both Del Rio and Paige are popped for a wellness violation.
On her birthday, nonetheless.
They must have been taking the same stuff. Who knows? And so now they get to have wild monkey sex for 30 days straight.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all really brokenhearted about not being used and being off the road for 30 days.
Exactly. Neither one that's going to be on the card at all. But alas, a third name came out just today, and she was on the SummerSlam card, but she's no longer. Eva Marie, who was supposed to make her official in-ring debut at SummerSlam, has also been popped for a suspension of 30 days. And so that affects the 6-women tag match at SummerSlam. Matt, which way do they go? I mean, they only have 6 women on the roster. So what do you see them doing? Do you see them calling up a Bayley? Do you see them doing an over-the-top battle royal? Do you see Nikki Bella coming in as breaking news? Pro Wrestling Sheet announced that Nikki Bella has been cleared by her doctors to return. She began retraining last month and was waiting for the green light from the medical staff, and that green light has now occurred. So, we've got all that information in front of us, Matt. What do you think happens at SummerSlam?
First things first, before we dive into the what's going to happen at SummerSlam thing, I've got something that I got to get off my chest. I don't know about you, JB, but me personally, ever since the whole Brock Lesnar thing went down, I have a real hard time taking anything about the wellness policy seriously anymore, if that makes sense.
What's that?
Well, you've got a guy who's pretty much headlining your card this Sunday who failed 2 different drug tests, and WWE's doing nothing to him because he's quote-unquote part-time, yet 3 talents for taking God knows what, maybe I'm hearing rumors of weight loss supplements for all three of them. And if that's the case, and you suspended all three of these guys, going into a card where somebody who failed probably a lot more serious drug tests is going to headline your show in one of the quote-unquote main events, I just have a hard time taking the entire wellness policy seriously anymore. To me, it's kind of a fucking joke. And personally, I'm kind of like rolling my eyes now every time I see somebody suspended, because at the end of the day, if they don't want to suspend somebody, they won't. I don't know, dude. I'm not with the whole wellness policy thing anymore, dude. The whole Brock Lesnar thing kind of has me like, what the fuck ever. Like, I don't know what you think about it, but that's pretty much how I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. It's odd timing to put it right during SummerSlam week. I always say it's weird that these things come in bunches. It just seems like the WWE wants to pop it up anytime they feel like they want to do so. I don't know if this was Vince trying to legitimize himself again by not suspending Brock Lesnar, but as you said, this makes it look even stupider.
Yeah, I just think it looks bad on the company as a whole. Especially on the eve of SummerSlam, when you've got this guy who the media and the entire world knows failed 2 drug tests, but you're not going to touch him because he's part-time, but you're going to suspend all these other guys and a girl who is going to work your show for, like I said, the rumor I'm hearing was a weight loss supplements for all 3 of them. They were all taking the same thing. And if that's the case, you're suspending somebody and costing them a pay-per-view match for a freaking weight loss supplement compared to what Brock got to freaking get away with. I just think it's bullshit, and I have a hard time taking it seriously anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It always seems to me that it seemed like we haven't heard anything about a wellness policy until just recently with a bunch of them in 2016. I mean, I'm curious to see how many there were in 2015. Were there any?
Oh man, I don't even remember.
All of a sudden, they just seem to crop up in 2016, and but yeah, you're one of your guys headlining probably one of the top 3 matches on the card is definitely was known to fail a couple of major drug tests. So.
Yeah, I just have a real problem with it.
SmackDown only has 6 women on the roster, so what do they do?
I think you're bringing Bayley in, or you're bringing in Nikki Bella. The problem is Bayley doesn't make sense to be on the side that she would have to be on. I expected Nikki to come back as a face. That idea might be out the window now.
I say they just do an over-the-top battle royal. Winner gets an automatic shot into the women's championship that they're going to unveil at No Mercy.
I guess they can do that, but the battle royals always turn into a clusterfuck.
Yeah, well, there's only 6 women, so...
Well, 5, technically.
Yeah, well, if they debut
unless
somebody.
you throw Nikki in there and make it that way.
Yeah. So it won't be a clusterfuck. It'll actually, it'll be a... You can still have it a good match.
It just makes sense for Nikki to go to SmackDown, because I just can't imagine WWE splitting her and John up on the road. And doing anything to piss Cena off.
Yeah.
So I feel like Nikki's a lock for SmackDown. And honestly, I feel Bayley should go to SmackDown too. I think Raw's women's division's a lot bigger than SmackDown's right now, and I think Bayley could really help the division on Tuesday nights. And I don't want to see, if Sasha beats Charlotte on Sunday, which I hope to God she does. I don't want to see Bayley debut the next night on Raw and get a Bayley-Sasha feud, because they're supposed to be friends. If Bayley's on Raw, Bayley should be gunning for the title, which would then make me sick to my stomach and believe that maybe Charlotte would be getting the title back and then Bayley would be going after her. And I'd much rather see Bayley on the blue brand.
I have a gut feeling Bayley's going to Raw, though.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
I just have a gut feeling.
If Bayley's going to Raw, dude, I have a feeling Charlotte's going to get the title back on Sunday, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sasha's reign has not nearly been long enough.
But if you put
compared to how
Bayley,
Charlotte's held that damn title.
But if you put Bayley and Nikki both on SmackDown, Nikki can play a heel, so that ain't going to be a problem at all. Eva Marie's husband took to Twitter and goes, when the public finds out why my wife was unjustly suspended, they will be absolutely outraged. Official statement and facts coming soon.
Oh boy, that's not a good idea.
We'll see there, Jonathan. That guy's a douche anyways.
I know, but you saw what happened to fucking
Adam Rose.
Adam Rose when he pulled this stunt. If I'm Eve, I'm telling him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I wonder if that tweet's been deleted since.
I don't know. I don't follow the guy, so I didn't even know it existed.
I just saw it on PW Insider a little bit ago.
Oh boy.
Well, what was going to be the big news until all these wellness violations came out, Billy Corgan named president of TNA's parent company, and Dixie Carter will no longer focus on day-to-day operations.
Oh, honey.
As president, Billy Corgan will be responsible for leading day-to-day operations of Impact and its affiliated brands. As chairman, Carter will focus on long-term planning, strategic partnerships, and global growth. And I couldn't get through that sentence without Matt laughing.
Sorry, dude. That's funny to me.
And me either. We are entering an exciting new era for Impact, and we'll be working to continue to define our brand, develop global strategies for success, and structure for future investment and growth, says Carter. Corgan, day-to-day operations now. Dixie out of it. What do you think? Good, bad? Doesn't matter.
Dude, it's totally good. And honestly, I see no bad in this whatsoever. This is probably one of the best things to happen to TNA in a long time. And I'm hearing the talent is incredibly happy about it too. So it's,
plus you got a guy,
not a
got
bad
a guy
thing, man. It's a good thing.
Turning around, and you got a guy named Aaron Rex that debuted last week.
I hate the name though.
Yeah, but good speech.
Name.
It was a good speech.
Yeah, the promo was fine. I don't like the name at all. Like that's the best you can come up. Why couldn't he just be Aaron Stevens? Why couldn't he just be Aaron the Idol Stevens? I mean, I don't understand. And like, Aaron Rex, really? What's TNA's obsession with dinosaurs? Any fucking Tyrus, Aaron Rex? Like, what the fuck?
It could have been Aaron Sandow too.
That would have been better than Aaron Rex.
But I think as Rex had said in his promo, he didn't really want anything to do with his past character, as that was a character. So he didn't even say you're welcome. So he's getting away from.
Honestly, that's probably trademarked.
Yeah, it could be.
So I don't blame him for not getting his ass in trouble.
Pretty cool for Corgan. Pretty cool for Corgan as a lifelong wrestling fan. He even started his own promotion. Now he is the head of basically the number 2 company in the world. I don't know. I don't know who's number 2 really. I'd have to still say TNA is as opposed to Ring of Honor, just based on viewership. But
I still think ROH is the number 2 company in the United States right now, because until TNA decides to start touring their brand again, they're on par with Lucha Underground as being a television show about pro wrestling. And that's just the fact and the short of it. You're not a national company if you're not touring nationally. And this company is pretty much only in Orlando, Florida right now.
And
if you stand outside in the hot sun in Universal Studios, you can get into their show for fucking free.
Yeah, basically. And as Matt said, according to Mike Johnson at PW Insider, a huge uptick in morale backstage after the announcement. Huge. So very interesting to see where they go. I mean, they got one of our favorites in Aaron Rex. We got to call him that, I guess. And Mike Bennett and Moose. I mean, they're getting guys we like, Matt.
You love.
And now Dixie's not running the show.
You love the Moose.
We haven't been able to. We've been saying more good things about TNA than bad the past month, haven't we?
Well, yeah, because when they're doing good, I'm gonna freaking say they're doing good. They're taped all the way to Bound for Glory as of today, August 18th, when we're recording this. they are taped all the way to Bound for Glory. And Bound for Glory is like the first week of October. So like the next month and a half of TV is taped. If you want to know the card for Bound for Glory, you can go on the internet right now and look. But I will go. I'm not going to give any spoilers. But
I give one quick spoiler. It's not a big one, but
I just want to say the storyline that has developed with the Hardys is some of the greatest stuff that I cannot fucking wait to watch.
Oh, nice.
It's dude, just reading it makes me laugh. So I can't wait to see this stuff go on TV over the next month and a half. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I still have Impact from last week on the DVR. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was in Arizona. But I did watch the Aaron Rex promo on Tuesday on YouTube. So I don't know if I need to watch the rest of the show or not, or maybe I'll just start fresh with this week. But of course, there's so much wrestling to watch this weekend too.
You have to watch last week's.
Okay.
For the progression of the Hardy storyline.
I think it's still on the DVR.
You could probably skip everything else.
Yeah.
But you have to see the progression of the Hardy story.
Okay, I think it's still on the DVR, so I'll check it out. If not, do they put the full episode on YouTube?
I don't know.
If not, I'll read about it then. Minor TNA spoiler from the tapings.
No, we will find you the video and you will see it. It needs to be seen, not read, sir.
Minor spoiler. I think we did say on the show that the King of the Mountain title is getting retired. I can't remember if we said that or not. That Lashley is going to retire that title. TNA is going to bring in a new championship called the Grand Championship for a new division that will feature bouts fought in rounds with judges, and a tournament will be held to be crowned the first champion. This almost sounds like the Pure Championship that we were talking about.
Not quite, but close.
What do you think about?
I will say it's in the ballpark. I honest to God, I need to actually see a match handled in front of my eyes, and I need the rules explained to me by the television product before I can give a proper opinion. Because right now, all we're having is hearsay from what's going on at the tapings. I want to hear it explained to me from the company. I want to see one match and see what it's all about, and I will form my opinion on the division afterwards. I will say the championship looks really cool. I hope the Universal title looks as cool as the Grand Championship does. I will say that much.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know when. Is the tournament starting during the tapings?
Yeah, the finals are. The finals will be a Bound for Glory. I already know who's in the finals, but obviously I ain't going to spoil that for you good folks here listening to Lost in the Midcard. All
right. And for the ratings, Impact with a slight drop this week, only down to 315,000, but still basically staying strong over the 300,000 mark over most of the past 3 months, outside of the old technology snafu. Oh, pop. This week's Raw did a slight increase, but still under 3 million.
Slight. Hour 1's ratings were bad.
Hour 1 and 3 were bad.
But Hour 1's was incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Probably the worst I've seen Hour 1 in, forever.
That's the worst Hour 1 of the year. I can tell you that much. Oh, no. July 4th.
Well, okay.
That
does that really count?
No. But 3.1 or 2.915, a 4,000 person increase. Obviously, Vince, I think, basically, booked it like the main event in Hour 2 again, and Hour 3 was Rusev and Reigns, which was good. Actually, Raw itself was good, and SmackDown was good. Both were pretty good going into the go home show, so we're pretty happy about that. We'll talk about those shows in a little bit. As for SmackDown, SmackDown did a little bit of an increase, also up to 2.47 million viewers, up about 20,000 or about 16,000 from last week. So still at the 2.5 million mark, not bad for SmackDown. SmackDown Live, especially considering from about the 1st of April to the middle of July, they never hit 2.5 million. So it's good to see them still staying at that number. Will Ospreay has a deal on the table from Ring of Honor to work regularly for the company when he's not doing New Japan tours, and he'll debut in November. So that's a little bit of an update. So we will get a lot more of Ospreay after his November debut, basically just when he's not doing New Japan stuff. So pretty cool deal there. Next week, possibly, we'll have to check with the people, but we may be doing our WWE 2K17 round table. And this week, finally, Matt, the future's revealed.
What?
What did anything stand out to you? Anything interesting?
I don't want to talk about any of it right now. I want to save everything WWE games related for the special, which hopefully will be next week. I have a lot to say, and if we start talking right now, we're gonna derail this entire show. And I don't want to do that. We've got so much on our plate with SummerSlam weekend right now. The WWE Games edition of Lost in the Midcard next week. It's gonna be dope. We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
In regards to the Cruiserweight division on Raw, WWE has commissioned a new championship belt, and so they will institute that championship for the Raw brand going forward. No timetable for when that may happen, though. The plan is starting to showcase those Cruiserweights sometime in September. We have 4 episodes left, I do believe, of the Cruiserweight Classic on the WWE Network. WWE has started making contract offers to a few of the talents a couple weeks ago. Some will be offered full-fledged deals, while others will be offered NXT developmental type deals, and others will be brought in on a per-date basis. The notable name on the per-date basis is Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi said he does not want to be working for the WWE full-time at this time. Matt, what do you think about that?
I don't... the dude speaks like next to no English. That doesn't surprise me at all. For him to work for the WWE full time and not speak a lick of English would be a massive problem for him. So I don't blame him at all.
Mm-hmm. And obviously the feeling is Cedric Alexander has been signed. I think that would be pretty much a done deal after what Triple H had come out after that great match.
You would surely think so.
A couple of trademarks to talk about. One is the Cruiserweight Classic, so you can almost assume that Gran Metalik will be signed by the company, as they have put through a trademark for him, as well as Royal Rumble, CWC, Cruiserweight Classic, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Colin Cassidy. Those actually got refusals from the trademark office. So, this will be a funny one, Matt. All 4 applications of Lady Balls received an initial refusal as well. Not sure on why the names. The one for Lady Balls that got services is indefinite and must be clarified because it uses overly broad or vague wording. As for the others, I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo within that I don't quite understand. Brutus the Barber Keep Beefcake. He was interviewed by the 200 for the 200th episode of the Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling podcast. And hey, we're coming up on 100, aren't we, Matt?
It's coming right around the corner, my friend.
And they asked Brutus about being in the mix after being away from the WWE for 23 years. And he says it was great. I had a ball with Edge and Christian. Knocked it out pretty quick. Afterwards, got to tour the facility. Went around, saw some old friends I haven't seen in close to 25 years. And he says, you definitely have not seen the end of me there. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll get a little cameo from Brutus on some certain old school nights or something. Or maybe a Brutus DVD's coming. Or,
way.
You never know.
Dude, no one would... No, look, no offense. But
maybe a special on the network.
Buy a Brutus Beefcake DVD.
Maybe on the network then. Maybe a network special.
You could do a network special, but DVD, not a chance in hell. You can't. It just wouldn't work.
Congratulations to the cleaner, Kenny Omega, as he defeated Haruki Goto in the main event of the G1 Climax tournament in Tokyo, Japan. So Kenny Omega is your winner there. Now go out and sign him, Triple H.
We need to know what his New Japan contract looks like, and Triple H just can't go, here's the contract. And I'm telling you right now, if they let him win the G1 Climax, he's under some kind of deal. You know, they're not going to let somebody uncontracted win that tournament. It's just not happening. He's not going anywhere for a while.
Very interesting news that Shawn Michaels has. It's been announced that he's going to join the ranks of coaches at the Performance Center in Orlando and be working full time for the company at the facility.
Only if he chooses to move to Florida. That's the main thing that's holding everything back right now.
Oh, has that been an update to that?
Yeah, he needs to move. He needs to move his family to Orlando to do that, and he's not sure that he's willing to make that move. If he chooses to move to Orlando, yes, then that's going to happen. If not, then he's not going to be a full-time coach there. So that is a to be determined right now, based on what his decision is. I don't blame him, dude. Uprooting and moving your family, it's a big decision. And I don't blame him for taking the time to make sure he has the right answer there.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, Shawn Michaels, known for having his wrestling academy in San Antonio, 1998. Some of his alum include Daniel Bryan, Brian Kendrick, and Lance Cade. A big name heading to SummerSlam for the weekend, and that is former WCW and WWE champion Bill Goldberg. He'll be making his first appearances under the WWE banner since departing the company in 2004 over SummerSlam weekend, likely in town to promote the 2K17 video game. But, Matt, that's how Sting kind of got started, so do you see Goldberg anywhere in a cameo anytime soon?
It could happen. I wouldn't count it out.
Do you think it would even happen as soon as Sunday?
I'm sure that's what everybody wants.
Will he wrestle again, though?
I know he said, I saw him do a Q&A in New Orleans at WrestleMania 30 weekend at WrestleCon, and he said one of the reasons he'd want to get back in the ring again is because his kids are of age now to actually... So I could totally see him getting back in the ring again for one more match.
You had cut out a little bit there. What about his kids?
He said he would like to wrestle now. He would like to wrestle again because his kids are of age now to appreciate it.
Ah, okay.
So, I could see him getting in the ring one more time. I don't see multiple times, but yeah, I could see him getting in the ring again. They could do him and Lesnar in WrestleMania. No, dude, if he gets in the ring, it's going to be in WrestleMania. Let's get real.
So?
Oh yeah, dude, it'll be in Orlando next year, WrestleMania. Maybe they do Brock and Goldberg the right way this time. Austin
couldn't even save that match.
If Goldberg's getting back in the ring, it's going to be for WrestleMania. It's not going to be for fucking Survivor Series.
I want Joe and Lesnar at WrestleMania, though.
Well, maybe Goldberg will fight somebody else. He doesn't have to fight Lesnar. And
there's
a million different people they could put him against. And honestly, I'd rather have him fight somebody who isn't Lesnar. I'd rather have him fight another part-time guy and have him win. You know, I don't even know who to put. Off the top of my head, I don't even know who I'd put him against right now. It'd be something I'd have to think about.
The game.
But they've done that. I want to see something that hasn't been done. And I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head right now for who, but I would definitely have Goldberg face somebody and beat them. That wouldn't be an issue.
Jericho could
afterwards. They could do. They did that match like a billion years ago in WCW, but I don't even know if those guys are on good enough terms with each other that they would be able to work a match together.
Yeah, because you could easily write it Jericho being, I was the true star of WCW, or I was the best star to come out of WCW, and look what I've done in the company. Look what you did. You did nothing, Jack. And I don't know. I just hope they don't break up him and Kevin Owens anytime soon, because that's been some great shit.
I think it's a one and done. and I think Enzo and Cass win on Sunday, and I think one of them are going to turn face, and the other one's going to stay heel, and they're going to feud afterwards.
I think we're gonna be disagreeing.
This is very short-lived.
I think we're gonna be disagreeing on a lot more than usual on SummerSlam this upcoming predictions here.
Ruh-roh.
Speaking of SummerSlam, Taz Show is gonna go live 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern after SummerSlam. Taz Show, Body Slams and Beyond will air on over 250 affiliates, I do believe is the number. So
happy for him.
Make sure you tune in. Jim Ross, Cody Rhodes, Mike Johnson from PW Insider, all expected to be on the show with the captain. And so it was a good show after WrestleMania. We listened to it on the long car ride back, getting out of Cowboy Stadium. And so definitely worth a listen. Also, you can stream live at thetazshow.com. And for a complete listing of the CBS Sport affiliates that are carrying the show via radio, go to radio.cbssports.com/stations. That way you are in the know to get yourself 3 hours of entertainment by the Taz man himself. Ring of Honor has come to an agreement with CMLL in Mexico. And so they made an announcement that the two companies will be working together going forward and spotlighting the relationship between the two and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So basically, they come about it as three companies, one goal. So Ring of Honor kind of gets a little stronger by getting some luchadors in from time to time, much like you see the New Japan guys from time to time. So very cool to see some guys from CMLL that we may not have seen otherwise. All right, and let's see here. We got. How about, hey Matt? Would you like to add another reason to the checklist of reasons to hate Kevin Dunn?
Dude, what's the idiot done now?
He just made another $1.15 million by cashing out some stock. Vince made about $30 million by cashing out his stock.
Pal.
He needs a new boat apparently or something.
I thought it was something to do with a new estate. That's what I thought I read.
Joey Styles took to Twitter for I think the first time since his firing.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. First time.
He says, "Oh my God, I'm back. Sorry, I was away for a couple weeks. At the Tommy Dreamer told me I was trending. I wonder why. Was I in the news?" And then he follows it up with, "I am now available to appear in indie events, but I'm not available for announcing podcasts or interviews." Damn it! There goes that idea, Matt.
Yeah, like we had a chance.
Dana Bryan had a sit-down interview with IGN to talk about SmackDown Live, SummerSlam, the Cruiserweight Classic, Total Bellas, and more. Some of the highlights from that interview. He was asked, does he find he doesn't need to be a heel or face, just be himself as a SmackDown GM? And he said, I haven't really thought about it. I just try to put as much logic into what I'm doing as possible and try to have fun with it. Oh no, Matt, he said the L word.
Well, that's something that's sorely needed on the WWE product as a whole. I'm happy that he used the L word. I've been yelling about the L word since this damn podcast has started.
Yep. On giving his real opinions on Talking Smack, he goes, oh yeah, Talking Smack. I love Talking Smack because it's literally a type of a free-for-all, and it airs on the network after SmackDown. But yeah, it's a fun show, and for me, it's a way to be like, wait, come on, hold a second, give some of my opinions of what's going on in an unscripted atmosphere. So I really like it. He was asked about working with Mauro Ranallo on the Cruiserweight Classic. He goes, it did come kind of naturally. Also, Mauro is good, right? Yep, he's so good. And he and I, before we practiced on commentating some matches at the taping, before the Cruiserweight started, we did a couple matches like that just as a run-through. But the night before, he and I went to dinner and sat and talked a little bit. We talked about our views on wrestling and our opinions on commentary and all that kind of stuff. And we just really tried to get in sync with each other, and I think it helps both of us to just truly love wrestling and are very excited about the Cruiserweight Classic. To me, it's an awesome opportunity for guys. And Matt, I mean, it goes without saying those two together have been just phenomenal as a commentary team.
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy the Cruiserweight Classic commentary. Some people are complaining it's a little too over the top, but I'd rather have commentators try to get me excited about what I'm watching and try to bring me in than hear people like Michael Cole and JBL drone on week after week on the main program and television.
Michael!
So, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion, even though your opinion's wrong.
And also, he was asked if he was bummed about Raw getting the Cruiserweights. He goes, yeah, I'm kind of bitter about it, actually. And then he starts laughing. It doesn't even make sense to me. Why does Raw get the Cruiserweights? Me and Morrow are the ones calling on the Classic and everything. And they're the ones, I want it on SmackDown Live, but I don't control much, as he laughs again. I may be the GM, but I don't control much. So, good interview. Head to IGN.com for the full interview there. This week also, it was released the cause of death for Balls Mahoney, who passed away on April 12th, suddenly in his home, was due to a heart attack. Gawker has finally taken the last leg drop from Hulk Hogan. They have sold the company following the bankruptcy brought on by the Hogan Judgment. Spanish language television network Univision pays $135 million to Gawker, and that'll probably just go straight to the Hulkster's bank account. Brother.
That's my line, dude.
Brother.
Jack.
Tickets for Jim Ross's WrestleMania 33 weekend events in Orlando go on sale this Monday. Yes, it's already time to start planning for WrestleMania. I highly suggest this show. I was there last year at the House of Blues in Dallas for Jim Ross's one-man show with Rob Van Dam, and then surprise cameos by Jeff Hardy.
Nero.
My brother Nero. And Gregory Helms. It was a fun show. JR with some great stories about him and Cornette at Border Patrol. It was a lot of fun. So definitely go check it out. And then get yourself some barbecue sauce while you're there, too.
Sausage.
Just announced this afternoon, WWE has released Radomir Petkovic, who is 29, performed at the NXT as King Constantine. He had been signed. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said when I read this. He had been signed since April of 2015 and was a former amateur wrestler from Serbia who had won a number of medals in the European Championship and Mediterranean Games. Yes, I said that too, Matt. Who?
It's like the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord.
I don't even think he was a jobber. I don't know. He had a name, but
yeah.
So does Broddick.
Go away, Broddick.
We had a lot of headlines, but surprisingly, we got through them pretty quick. I think eliminating the WWE 2K article helped out a little bit.
Dude, yeah. I'm telling you, we're gonna have plenty to talk about that next week. If you guys want your WWE games fix, man, it's gonna be ridiculous on next week's show. The good portion of the show will be about WWE 2K17, the WWE games franchise, and the present and the future of such. So that's coming next week. It's definitely going to be a must listen for sure.
Oh boy, yeah, there's going to be some shit flying. So you better duck. I should post the picture. I posted it on Twitter today on my account at JB Huskers. The whole WWE games community doing the fist pump with Zack Ryder posing in the middle 5 years ago today in LA on SummerSlam weekend. I'm going to have to put that up on our Facebook page and our Twitter. That was a pretty cool picture, wasn't it, Matt?
Indeed.
Good times. Yeah, Zach spent a couple hours with us playing a little WWE 12.
Woo, woo, woo.
Ring of Honor. We got 3 television shows to fly by here.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we really even need to cover them? Besides the main storyline, there was really nothing of note on these shows to really highlight towards the pay-per-view anyway.
Some good wrestling, but yeah. What do you think of the Job Squad in Ring of Honor?
I think they suck.
Oh, the Get Along Gang. That is a weird freaking name, but
I think Delirious was might have been violating the wellness policy when he came up with that gimmick. But I digress.
Yeah. It's funny how he has this muscle woman named America. Not a China ripoff at all, I don't think. Actually, I ran into her at Dallas too. I was like, I wonder if she's a wrestler. She looks kind of like a wrestler. She's dressed kind of scantily. I wonder if she's a wrestler. And then, sure enough, she's in that Job Squad when Moose killed him, and Moose killed him again on TV. After the match, Nana comes out with Dijak and basically lays down the challenge. I mean, it's not like Moose really had a grueling match against Mike Posey, so Moose does accept against Dijak. We all know Moose is already on TNA, so he took the loss to Dijak. But it was
speaking of Moose, I have to say this, and I know it's a spoiler, and I don't give a fuck.
Go for it.
Jesus, dude, he's only been there for like 3 weeks, and they turned him face before Bound for Glory.
Oh boy,
he's a good guy already. I don't have a problem with it, but damn, dude, if you wanted him to be a good guy, just bring him in as a good guy. You know, you didn't need to bring him in as a heel if you were going to turn him face already.
They brought him in. They brought him in with Mike Bennett, but he's feuding with Lashley. So that was weird because that was a heel thing there.
Yeah, well, he's by Bound for Glory. Moose is full-fledged babyface. So
is he feuding with Lashley still or no?
More some Lashley, some Bennett. He's doing a little bit of everything right now.
Right, more Bennett when it comes to Bound for Glory.
I believe I'm trying.
Well, obviously because Lashley's
trying to remember. I
think
Bennett is facing Moose at Bound for Glory, and I could be 100% wrong. I know what the tag title match is. I know what the women's match is. I know what the Grand Championship match is. I know what the world title match is, and neither of those guys are in any of those matches. So I'm assuming it's probably Bennett and Moose at Bound for Glory, and I don't know who the hell. I don't know who the X Division champion's defending against. Because there's a new X Division champion that was crowned. And I can't remember who he's fighting at Bound for Glory. But I know most of them. And JB, if you want to know the match listing, or if anybody wants to know the match list, you can hit me up on Twitter at REWF Showtime. I'll let you know what I know. I just don't want to spoil it all here on the show and make people, make the TNA fan listening base on here angry that I spoiled a month and a half of television. But
Moose and Dijak, though, had a good match. I'm getting him. Oh, God. Obviously, him doing Feast Your Eyes on Moose is pretty damn cool. Be interesting to see what they do with him. He will be in a match at Death Before Dishonor, so we'll get to that. The Cabinet, are they still the same in your opinion? Okay, I'm just checking in with you.
It hasn't changed, pal.
It's so weird, though. They're going after heels and faces. I don't get it. Well, I don't know. The Young Bucks are kind of tweeners, but they're like the cool heel. But they're still heels. I mean, look what they're doing to Lethal and what they did to Kyle O'Reilly. So they're they're firmly heels. But yet the Cabinet's calling them out, too. Yeah, I don't know. And to me, Red Titus is a goofy-looking motherfucker in a suit.
Say it to his face.
Originally, it was going to be the Young Bucks against the Briscoes, but Jay Lethal, who is now turning face before our eyes, says, well, we all know that Adam Cole, baby, is going to get involved. So he goes, why don't we make this a 6-man tag match with Adam Cole joining the Bullet Club and Jay Lethal joining the Briscoes. So a very unusual alliance, so to speak, with the Briscoes and Jay Lethal. But they do come out on top, beating the Bullet Club.
It was really the final step in Jay Lethal's complete and utter babyface turn. So,
and then after that, the Bullet Club begins their beatdown, and they shave Jay Lethal bald. So yes, there's even further proof of the complete face turn. Now we have Lethal in a sympathetic position. So while Kevin Kelly goes apeshit on the microphone as they are cutting Jay Lethal's hair. So then the following week, they show Jay Briscoe staring at a mirror, kind of going nuts. Very cool to see the fact that the Bullet Club's getting under his skin. Great match to start off Ring of Honor 2 weeks ago. Jay White and Will Ferrara, they tore the house down. And Jay White getting the win there. Obviously, they're putting a rocket up Jay White's ass right now. He's been getting wins left and right for the company. They announced that Shibata will be appearing at Death Before Dishonor, taking on Silas Young. Mark Briscoe shows up, and it was supposed to be an appearance on the Fish Tank, but Mark decided to create his own show and call it the Chicken Shack. And so a lot of jokes flying around between Bobby and Mark. They keep it friendly for now. Pretty interesting segment though. That wasn't too bad at all.
Well, they didn't end friendly.
Well, yeah, obviously, but yeah, they had to be held back by security.
And
but
Mark
at the same
Briscoe takes his stupid fish face off.
I wonder who you're gonna predict.
I don't know who I'm predicting. I'm just telling you what I want. Maybe I want to kick Maybe I want to kick Bobby Fish's head off his face. Dolph.
If you're wondering who Matt's going to pick for the television title, you probably don't need to be on the edge of your seats. Not many matches on the Ring of Honor here from a couple weeks ago because the main event was for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. Jay Lethal, Colt Cabana, the match that did not finish because of Adam Cole's debut into the Bullet Club. And damn, this was a pretty damn good one, just like their pay-per-view match, right, Matt?
Yeah, there was no doubt this was going to be a good match, so it didn't surprise me at all. I enjoyed it.
Have you heard anything about Cabana? Is this just kind of here for this arc and that's it?
I'm really not sure what his contract status with ROH is. That's definitely it's definitely a mystery to a lot of people at this time.
Lethal jabbing and punching Cabana, but then Cabana responds with some chops. Lethal hits a super kick, and then Cabana hits a leaping butt strike and gets a near fall. Lethal hits a bicycle kick and an enziguri, but Cabana stays on his feet. But then Lethal hits the cutter and the lethal injection, and that was it. After the match, Jay Lethal takes the microphone and says he wants Nigel McGuinness to come into this ring because he has something to say to Nigel face to face. He goes, normally I would be yelling that there is nobody left, but we all know there is one guy that is still left. And he tells Nigel he needs to lift his band and make the match at Death Before Dishonor against Adam Cole. Nigel says, if I was to turn around and do this, it would make me a hypocrite. There are other people who could challenge for the title. Adam Cole then shows up on stage and says he cannot believe that people are believing this. He clearly, that Lethal and Nigel are in collusion. And everybody in the locker room knows that Lethal, you're just a little bitch. And Jay Lethal snaps and goes, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone knows that I'm the greatest wrestler in the world. And Nigel finally cracks and says, yes, at Death Before Dishonor, Jay Lethal will take on Adam Cole, baby. But before we get to our Death Before Dishonor predictions, we will get to the last Ring of Honor before that pay-per-view. The final ROH before Death Before Dishonor had a very interesting opening matchup between the last two top prospect tournament winners. Donovan Dijak with his new manager Prince Nana, and Leo Rush, who won the 2016 top prospect tournament. Very lengthy match and a very awesome match, Matt. I think, it's awesome to see Leo Rush look so good here, and B, it's good to see Dijak, who is a guy they obviously want to push, look good against a smaller guy as well. I think this match benefited both guys, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it benefited both guys, especially Leo Rush. I was honestly shocked that Rush won because I thought Dijak was going to go over.
Yeah, so many times.
But I was very happy with the result of the match, especially after watching Rush lose in Baltimore to the guy who came out and saved him. I can't even remember his damn name. Jack White or something. Jay White? Yeah. So, like, I felt Rush should have won in Baltimore. So, when I saw he was facing Dijak, I'm like, well, he ain't going to win this match either. But, yeah, I was really happy to see him win. And, yeah, the match was great. It really showcased how good Dijak is, and it allowed Rush to get a big push up the card, in my opinion.
Yeah. So many times Rush evaded the Feast Your Eyes and ended up with a counter on a roll-up on yet another try for Feast Your Eyes, and Rush got the win off the roll-up. After the match, Dijak and Nana attack Rush, where Jay White comes in and makes the save. But then Kamitachi comes in and attacks White, and Dijak joins in there as well, because obviously Jay White and Kamitachi have been having a little bit of a feud lately. So good stuff there to open up the what you would call the go-home show for Death Before Dishonor. Apparently, we might be getting a cabinet against Dalton Castle and the Boys feud. I'm not sure. They had a little bit of a backstage segment there.
Yeah, I can't give a shit. I really can't. Like, this whole cabinet gimmick's awful. Like, they've ruined All Night Express with this. It's so bad.
It's very cool to see a team, like we've said this last couple weeks here on Lost the Midcard, but it's very cool to see a team that kind of impressed us in a dark match in Texas this past April. And I'm enjoying the feud with the War Machine with Keith Lee and Shane Taylor, Matt.
Yeah, I'm assuming that match is going to be Friday. Like, have they officially announced that yet? I'm assuming that's going to happen.
It's not on the card.
That's really weird, because it feels like it was built up to be.
Yeah, you'd think so, but it's not on the card currently. 8 matches are on the card, plus a pre-show match. So
yeah, that don't sound like they got time for the match.
A lot of New Japan
guys. Weird.
A lot of New Japan guys in this pay-per-view though, Matt. So that might be part of it. Maybe it's ROH doesn't rush feuds. So the next pay.
I always hate it though when it feels like all the New Japan guys come in and take up matches on the card when they should be reserved for the people who are there all the time. Yeah. Honest to God, you want to look at it in a way, the New Japan people in ROH are like the part-timers to WWE.
Yeah.
They come in and do the big pay-per-view matches. They work 2 to 3 TV tapings a year, and then you don't see them other than that. They essentially, the New Japan guys are the WWE part-timers in TNA. In ROH. You know what I meant. Damn it. I pulled a Daniel Bryan.
Paula Creed.
Paula Creed, baby.
Adam Page was interviewed by Kevin Kelly at ringside. A feud. I guess we haven't really seen much on TV with Jay Briscoe, but a feud nonetheless. It's going to be taking place at Death Before Dishonor. Basically, kind of cutting a promo for the Bullet Club, and then at the end of it, Jay Briscoe comes out and starts the fight with Page there. Kazarian and Daniels are in the ring. The Addiction says there will be no tag title match because they were supposed to face Young Bucks who have an injury, and
War Machine. The Machine Guns.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Machine Guns who have an injury, and the War Machine who were taken out by Taylor and Lee. So we got the night off.
Which, in all honesty, how sad is it that there's another injury to the damn Motor City Machine Guns?
I know.
Like,
Who's hurt?
I don't even know. But are you fucking kidding me? Like, those two guys can't stay healthy to save their lives. Like, it's really sad because they're one of my favorite teams, but always one or the other guy is always freaking injured. It's just like, good Lord, enough already. Get healthier, get out. Save your damn bodies, man.
The Addiction says they have the night off, but wait. Roppongi Vice comes out and says, we're completely healthy.
Roppongi Vice.
And we've been undefeated for a month in Japan, so that means something in Ring of Honor. So we're going to go ahead and challenge you for those tag titles.
Part-timers want those titles, son.
But then the Young Bucks make their way to the stage, and Matt Jackson suggests, well, why don't we take this potential 2.5-star match and make it a 5-star classic? And Nigel says he'd love to make this a 3-way dance, and Daniel says, oh, wait, we signed on to face War Machine and the Motor City Machine Gun, so we can't have this match. No, 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 no. And Nigel's like, well, for once, Mr. Daniels, you're right. And so Roppongi Vice will take on the Bucks. The winner gets a tag title match in 2 weeks. So we got Roppongi Vice and the Bucks. A classic match, nonetheless, between two great tag teams. But in the end, the Bucks are victorious. And then the Addiction hits Celebrity Rehab and onto the title belt. And so there you go. We always speculated, Matt, that the Bucks would get the belts eventually because they signed a deal. So you think this might be their time?
Here's the thing. As far as we know, their contracts expire in October. The titles here, Friday night, will tell a very big story on the future of the Young Bucks in Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe if the titles don't change hands Friday night, that the Young Bucks are WWE bound when their deals are up. I really and truly believe that. Yep.
Joining AJ Styles. I'm giddy.
Well, we'll see. Well, after that match is over, I feel we'll know the future of the Young Bucks career. Right after that match ends.
The finale of the Go Home show is Nigel McGuinness in the ring with a table and a couple chairs. You know what that means? It's contract signing time. Adam Cole comes to the ring. Jay Lethal comes out and he goes, I don't like the chair selection, so he throws it to the floor. And they're here to make it official. And Adam Cole, baby, asks if anybody's ready for some story time. Of course, we're always ready for some story time. And basically is talking shit to Jay Lethal, making fun of the fact that they shaved his head, and at Death Before Dishonor will take the title. And Cole tells Jay that he's the best in the world, but so is Adam Cole, baby. The toe of the best will go toe-to-toe at Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. And Adam says he will not steal the show with Jay. He'll just steal the title from Jay. Lethal asks for the contract, signs it, and he says almost every match I've had in Ring of Honor for this title has been about the Ring of Honor World Championship. Whether it was beating an outsider like Alberto El Patron, it was about the title. No matter how much he hated Jay Briscoe, it was about the title. No matter how many times Roderick Strong and him beat each other up, it was about the title. But this time, it's not about the title, it's personal. Jay's thinking about revenge. Every time he looks past a mirror, he's reminded of Adam's face. And at Death Before Dishonor, he has no cool catchphrases or one-liners. He's coming to Las Vegas to fight. He signs the contract and drops a pair of scissors on the... Adam Cole drops a pair of scissors on the table, makes Lethal snap, and they have to basically separate the two.
No, actually... Lethal slammed the scissors on the table and tried to cut Cole's hair, but the Young Bucks got him out of the ring in time.
My bad. You got that right. And
I figured they were about to announce hair versus title, because when Nigel put the contract down for Cole to sign, he had his hands over the contract, so it looked like Cole couldn't read it when he signed it. So I figured they were going to announce when Lethal threw the scissors down that Cole just signed a contract for hair versus title, but they never acknowledged that. But that's what I thought they were going to do.
But yeah, Lethal hits a low blow and grabs the scissors, tries to cut some hair. He gets a little bit of hair, but not as much as he wants to before the Young Bucks make the save. And there you go. We'll get to our predictions for Death Before Dishonor here at the end of the show. But a good 3 weeks of wrestling, great matches and such, and so looking forward definitely to the main event there. NXT this week, just a couple of matches and a lot of setup for NXT Brooklyn. Hideo Itami takes on Mustafa Ali and wins fairly quickly. They go through all of the matches. I really liked how they went through a bunch of the feuds, Matt, playing one of the theme songs to Takeover and kind of interjecting 3 or 4 different feuds at the same time. I kind of liked how they did.
Yeah,
that.
I thought it all worked really well. I like the fact that they are focusing on every single match on the card. Like, they put every single match over within the course of an hour. I thought it all worked out really well.
William Regal's in his office talking about how last year's TakeOver was a success. International talent has seen a lot of influx. But then Billie Kay comes in to interrupt and says it cannot be a great TakeOver because she's not on the card. And William Regal says, well, you'll be in action against Ember Moon.
And I cried.
And the second match of 2 matches on the show this week, a 6-women tag match, kind of a passing of the torch, so to speak. A couple of ladies that are on SmackDown, captaining teams of 2 girls joining them that are fairly newcomers to NXT. 2 of them actually making their debut at NXT. Actually, 3 of them, I do believe. Alexa Bliss had Mandy Rose, which Corey Graves just went gaga over. I loved it. It was funny. And Daria Baronato. Both of those ladies were on Tough Enough. Yep. Daria with kind of an MMA type of gimmick. I kind of like it.
It was very odd and neat. I don't believe that at any point they were mentioned that they were from Tough Enough.
They did once. I know they did.
Okay, because I was actually waiting for them to mention it, and I didn't hear it at all.
I think Corey was praising Daria in the ring for coming so far so quickly.
Oh, okay.
Because last year she was in Tough Enough. I know that they said that once when I think Daria had like a leg scissors on Liv Morgan or something like that. So they take on Liv Morgan, a fiery lady from Scotland, Nikki Glencross, and Carmella. And so a pretty good showing, I think, for all ladies involved. Obviously, the focus was on the 4 ladies that are going to stay in NXT. A lot of fire out of Nikki Glencross. I think she, in terms of promos and camera stuff, I think she's not comfortable there yet. She's more comfortable in the ring, obviously. A lot of fire. I liked out of her. Obviously, we've seen Liv Morgan a few times on NXT. I love her. And then the 2 Tough Enough girls, Mandy and Daria. I think this was a good way to showcase the future of the women's division, Matt.
I agree to a point, but I want to run something past you that I immediately said after the match. I want to hear your thoughts. When this was really 2-led SmackDown teams going at each other, each captain was like, now on SmackDown, they're leaving the brand. Don't you think it would have been more beneficial for one of the 4 people who are staying behind to have gotten the win instead of Carmella getting the win for her team? Wouldn't it have been better for Liv Morgan or Glencross to get the win? Like, I just didn't understand. What did it do for Carmella to get the win on her way out the door? Because NXT's always done really good about when somebody's leaving, they do the job on the way out. And I just think it would have been more beneficial for, Liv Morgan to maybe beat Alexa Bliss, because Bliss is gone, and that could have been a big rub for her. I didn't understand it.
Well, I see what you're saying, because it's not like either woman's in a big position right now on SmackDown. They're going to be in a 6-women tag match, or so we think,
or something.
With the suspension of Eva Marie now, that's up in the air. But yeah, I see what you're saying, but it didn't bother me as much either.
You know nothing, you obsolete mule.
Whatever. Delete. We got 3 girls making their debut and Liv Morgan. So it's kind of hard to have one of those 4 get over now.
One of them. I'm not saying like they're going to be over by winning the match. I just think it would have done any one of those 4 girls good by just getting the pin.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is I think it's a little early for one of those four to go over an established vet at this point. So that's why it didn't bother me as much. If it was like, whoever, I guess it's hard to tell because all the women are basically gone from NXT now. But I mean, with the fact that these were three girls making their debuts in NXT, I think if it was like a Billie Kay or a Peyton Royce in there, yeah, I would expect them to get a win over Alexa or Carmella. But I think it's just a little too soon for a Nikki, a Daria, or a Mandy to do so right now, I think. So I didn't have as big of a problem with it. They show an Ember Moon teaser. Obviously, she'll make her debut at TakeOver against Billie Kay. And then we had the sit-down interview of Byron Saxton with Joe and Nakamura. And Nakamura being Nakamura, right, Matt?
I thought he was hilarious.
He was great. I love it. I love when they were talking about the dojo and Nakamura's like, it was your dojo? I don't remember that. And, of course, once Joe stands up, Byron shot out of there like he had to shit his pants. I thought that was kind of funny, but a good sit-down interview nonetheless. Don't you agree, Matt?
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to end the show, and I thought it was a great way to get us to TakeOver on Saturday.
That match is going to be something else. I mean, it's going to be insane. And you can believe that. Cruiserweight Classic is next up here as we work our way to the quarterfinals. Probably the best match of the night happened first. Akira Tozawa against Jack Gallagher. That Jack Gallagher is something else, isn't he? When he folded up Tozawa and left him in the middle of the ring, that was just fucking hilarious, Matt.
I've seen a lot of things in pro wrestling over the course of my lifetime. That was most certainly a first for me.
And then Gallagher's got this like leg lock on, and he keeps scooting around, just taunting Tozawa. It was great, but in the end, Tozawa nails the German suplex bridge for the pin, 3 count. I think there should be a future for Jack Gallagher though in the cruiserweight division, Matt.
I would certainly think so. He has a unique look. He's very good in the ring. So
his escapability, it's like Houdini-like. It's insane. And he does some things we've never seen, like the little fold-up of Tozawa. And he's a brutal striker, too. I mean, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got some drop kicks and some punches. It's a really, overall, great look. And, I sure hope that we get a lot more of Jack Gallagher going forward. But Akira Tozawa, your winner, and Tozawa will go on to the final 8. Next up is Noam Dar against Ho Ho Lun. And this one, the crowd just wasn't into it all. I think Noam Dar is a good wrestler, but he's kind of missing some charisma. Ho Ho Lun is still kind of green, so I think that might have been how the crowd just wasn't quite into it. Lun working on Dar working on Lun's leg for a knee for a lot of the match, and that became Ho Ho Lun's downfall as Noam Dar puts on that dreaded knee bar to make Ho Ho Lun tap out. And we got the NXT Universe chanting the Death March from Star Wars to Noam Dar's name. I thought that was kind of funny.
I hated it.
But Noam Dar wins, and he will go on to face Drew Gulak or Zack Sabre Jr. in probably the match of the week next week as we close up the second round. I had Tozawa beating Gallagher, but I had Lun beating Dar because I thought Lun had a little more experience going into it, but obviously we see that didn't happen, so I went 1 for 1 there. And then next up is the Brian Kendrick against Tony Nese. And this was an awesome match too. Nothing to scoff at here. Even though I said Tozawa and Gallagher was probably the match of the night, but I thought Nese and Kendrick were doing pretty good. But Matt, I think when I saw Tony Nese sign with Evolve, that kind of spoiled it for me on who was going to win here.
I don't know. Evolve has a pretty good working relationship with WWE right now, so I really don't think that would have in any way spoiled it for you.
So what did you see? What did you see out of these two guys here on the third match?
I thought it was good. I don't know. Brian Kendrick's matches have just not had the same excitement to me that a lot of the other matches in the tournament has had. I mean, they're good, solid matches, but they aren't matches that have me on the edge of my seat. If that makes sense. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. See where it goes. He's got Coda next. So
yeah,
he ain't gonna have a damn choice other than to have an epic match there.
Yeah, uphill match there for sure. The Brian Kendrick gets the after Nese tried to finish it with the 450 splash. Kendrick throws on the bully choke right away after the miss and makes Tony Nese tap out. And as Matt just said, Kendrick taking on Kota Ibushi. And that'll set up the final second round matches next week. Lince Dorado against Rich Swann, Zack Sabre Jr. against Drew Gulak, and Johnny Gargano against TJ Perkins. Next week is going to be a phenomenal one, that's for damn sure.
Absolutely. No pun intended.
Raw this week, the Go Home Show from Corpus Christi, Texas. And do you like the last week on Raw kind of recap thing? Kind of like what they do.
TNA used to do that all the time.
Did they?
Yeah, it's another thing WWE's quietly copying off of.
The show starts with Seth Rollins looking for the Demon King, looking all over the arena for him, inside and out. We start the show with Rusev in his ring gear, and they say the show is not going to start. So there won't be any Raw until Reigns comes out to apologize. Mick Foley comes out, angry as hell, trying to get Rusev out of the ring.
Angry as hell.
Oh, was that like a Funker line right there?
It was the puppet from Jeff Dunham.
You egg-sucking dog.
The old angry guy, Arthur, I think his name is.
I don't like Jeff Dunham, sorry.
Know.
I don't find him funny at all.
Oh, you're a jobber. That's okay.
What'd you think of old fired up Foley there? Was he gonna? I thought he was gonna put the sock down Reigns' for a minute.
You mean Rusev's. I didn't like that he came out without a microphone. Like, to me, that was just really stupid. I'm just like, dude, you have to come out here and say something, and you're just yelling barely audible words on live television. I didn't care for it. I get what they were trying to do.
That he came out there on a whim.
Yeah, I really wasn't a fan of it.
Rusev complained about having to defend the U.S. title against Reigns at SummerSlam. Doesn't think Reigns deserves it. Calls out Stephanie, and Stephanie enters the ring and told Rusev the behavior is unacceptable and fully deserves respect. Rusev says he needs respect because he's the champion of her show. And he suggested that he should give a call to her brother or Daniel Bryan because they appreciate talent. I love how they just tease how wrestlers are going to defect.
And as they should. Like, I like that idea.
And do you think it eventually happens?
I think I don't know if it'll happen for, like, Rusev, for example.
Cesaro?
But I do think this is something that will eventually happen. I mean, you had defections in the original brand split back in 2002.
Yeah.
After Lesnar won the Undisputed Championship, he decided he was not going to be on both brands and he was going to be exclusive property of SmackDown. And that's when Raw had to create the World Heavyweight Championship. So, like, I could totally see defecting superstars probably even before the year's over. You know, I don't know who they're going to do it with, but I definitely think that should be done.
Yeah, for sure.
Keeps things exciting.
Roman Reigns came out, made a mail order bride joke, and said that Rusev and Lana will make ugly Sasquatch babies. And Rusev called him a greasy pig. I don't know why, but when Rusev calls someone a greasy pig, it makes me laugh. It is so weird, though, this whole thing. It's like the way the story sets up, it's like Rusev's kind of the face. I don't know. It like you said, it's always putting Reigns in a bad booking situation, and it just seems like this whole feud.
Something
even though
WWE is really good at doing.
Yeah, I don't mind the feud. I think it's good, but it's just weird. Maybe they think this is the easy way to get Reigns back over with the crowds because they chant USA. I don't know, but
I hate that logic. They'll chant USA for anything. They'll chant USA for an opponent, or for somebody who isn't even American. It's such cheap gimmickry.
just make up a new word.
Yes.
Sweet.
That's what I do.
Sheamus is in the ring with Byron Saxton, and he was there to interview him about losing to Cesaro the last couple weeks. And he goes, as far as he's concerned, he's proved he's the better athlete than Cesaro. And the fans chant the "You look stupid." And he called Sami Zayn a cheap knockoff of Sheamus and claimed he would kick Zayn's head off. And so there you go. That sets up Sheamus against Sami Zayn. They have themselves a solid 10-minute match where Cesaro was at the commentary table. He distracts Sheamus in the end, and Zayn hit a brutal-looking haluva kick to get the win after 10 minutes. So Sami Zayn defeats Sheamus as they continue to job Sheamus out. It's a shame that Sami Zayn had a match of the year, and where's he at SummerSlam?
It's a shameful thin lobster head. This is exactly why Sami Zayn should be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, it's perfect. It's just like it's perfect proof right here. You know, they just the mid card on Raw is too heavy right now. They didn't balance the rosters properly, and the fact that Sami Zayn doesn't have a match at SummerSlam is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, he could have easily been the guy to take the IC belt from Miz at SummerSlam.
Yep, that would have been a hell of a, no offense to Apollo Crews, that would have been a hell of a lot better than Crews, because I don't think Crews is ready. I think they're going to put the title on him, and I think it's going to be a mistake. But we'll see where it goes.
Owens and Jericho interviewed by Tom Phillips, and Jericho and Owens called Tom by any name other than Tom. And basically trash-talking Enzo and Cass. Cesaro and Sheamus arguing backstage. The refs are breaking them up. Foley shows up to calm them down and yells at them for interfering in each other's matches, and he says he's going to put them in a best-of-7 series that starts at SummerSlam. Something we don't see in the WWE too often, Matt. So what do you think of Sheamus, Cesaro in a best-of-7?
Taz has been begging on his show for the better part of the past 6 to 8 months to do a best-of-series match with Cesaro. I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, it's going to lead to some great matches. WCW had some great best-of-7 matchups in the 90s. If they can recapture that kind of magic, like, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah. I was thoroughly pleased with that decision. It's something new, something different. So that's for damn sure. Dudleys are in the ring as Kingston and Woods make their entrance. Big E still selling his injury. Dr. Gallows and Dr. Anderson. Doctor. They appear talking about ring postitis again and making ball jokes and putting putting eggs inside of the microwave and some more ball jokes for the doctors. Kingston and Woods go over the Dudleys in only 2 minutes, and again, Bubba looks a little upset after some more miscommunication.
Yeah, but they had really poor camera work on it this week.
They did.
I was wondering, like, the camera work was so bad. I'm like, were we supposed to see Bubba angrily staring Devon down, or were we just supposed to ignore it? Like, I was very confused with the camera work at the end of that match of what I was supposed to care about.
But again, second straight week, Bubba not being happy, so I think there's a split coming. I said that last week, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, honestly, I think they're going to bring Velvet in. And I think she's going to be like the thing that tears the two of them apart. And he's going to go off in a single with Velvet's going to be his manager, and Devon's going to do God knows what.
He'll be a priest again. Yeah. Oh, my brother!
That sucks. I always feel bad for Devon when these splits happen because they never find good things for him.
I love the line. I love the line after it was all said and done. After the egg blew up in the microwave, and Xavier Woods says that Gallows and Anderson won't have the power to lay a finger on their New Day rocks. Somebody's probably going to get clocked with a glass jar full of nuts, right?
Honestly, that probably will be the finish.
A segment I liked was Seth Rollins looking for the Demon King backstage and runs into Neville, and Neville says that he's been in the ring with the Demon King and Rollins isn't ready. And I like the exchange with Neville and Rollins. I really hope this could be a thing, as I think we're both going to probably pick the same guy to win the Universal Championship. We'll save that for later, but I would really love to see a program with Neville and Seth Rollins. Would you?
I don't know, because I don't trust WWE to push Neville in that feud. To me, like, they've fought before and all their matches have been great, but I'm pretty sure every freaking time that they fought, Rollins has won. So I don't trust a feud between Neville and Rollins, because I don't think you would do anything for Neville.
Nia Jax is ready to kill another woman. The lady in the ring, blue hair, we'll call her Blue Hair, said that she's seen the Summer Olympics and has been inspired by them. But yeah, that didn't really do anything for her, as she got beaten about a minute.
You okay, Jobber? Go away now.
Please listen to our booking.
I wish they would have. I wanted that on SummerSlam so bad. You guys have a 2-hour pre-show. You try to tell me you can't take out 5 minutes to do the freaking Jobber Gauntlet Battle Royal? And then they can do a crazy storyline and have Braun and Nia Jax make out afterwards?
Whoa! There's some sass babies.
Swerve! That's how I would book.
Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come to the ring. Crowd gives them a nice ovation. And Suplex City chants fill in the arena. Lesnar's got a nice little smile on his face for those. Boy, that line did sell some merch, didn't it? That line, Suplex City bitch, at WrestleMania. And all of a sudden, that thing's $1 million maker, isn't it?
It's insane. And, you know, I was at the stadium, so
you had no idea.
I didn't. I had no idea that those words were muttered, but I did know as we were leaving the building, all these generic T-shirt stores all over Twitter were selling Suplex City T-shirts. So, yeah, it was just crazy. You know, I had to watch it back to see the moment, you know, myself. You never know what's going to get over, man. Like, you really, truly never know.
I mean, look at New Day. I mean,
I knew New Day was going to get over.
Everything they touch turns to gold too, and you know, the Bootios. I
still can't find them. By the way,
I'm just talking about Bootio. We all know New Day was going to be good. I'm just talking about Bootios. You know, that's another thing. You know, Suplex City, Bootios, just things that just ran up the yes chant. You know, it's just so crazy. Before Heyman could really start to speak, Heath Slater, our favorite news story in the WWE post the draft, Heath Slater shows up. And Heyman Heyman wondered if someone gave him bad advice to interrupt him and his client, Brock Lesnar. And Slater said he's one of the highest free agents in sports entertainment. And Paul Heyman mocks him. Slater said he's getting another opportunity. All he has to do is beat Brock Lesnar one-on-one. Yeah, that'll happen. And Heyman says, okay, joke's over. So he goes on to his promo. And Heath Slater yells, hey! Gets on the apron. Says, don't disrespect me. I got 10 kids to feed. I didn't say that, but then Lesnar grabs the mic. Lesnar grabs the microphone, so we know something good's coming now. Lesnar goes, he talks to Slater, goes, I give you credit for having guts and having responsibilities. And I understand all of it because I have kids too. And Slater comes into the ring. Lesnar looks at Slater and goes, I don't give a shit about your kids. I loved it.
It was a funny ass line.
I love it. And of course, Lesnar, I mean, he can break the wellness policy, so I guess he can say shit on TV too. So, hey, Lesnar says, you got two choices, leave on your own 2 feet or stand there and keep pissing me off. I love that line too. And Slater acted like he was going to leave and then tries to attack Lesnar. But, yeah, no. Clothesline, suplex, F5. One-man broken rock band. And Heyman moved on to talk about Randy Orton. And he can't measure up to Lesnar. He knows his job is to promote SummerSlam and call himself a hype artist. It led to Heyman putting over Orton's skills, but says that Lesnar doesn't believe. He claimed that it's the summer of the Conqueror. Heyman said that after showing his dominance in the Broctagon, Lesnar is the box office at SummerSlam, and not one single member of that locker room can stand up to Lesnar, not even Randy Orton. And again, eat, sleep, cut a fucking promo, repeat. Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman. Great stuff there. I just enjoy Heath Slater every time he comes on TV now, Matt.
He's been nothing short of excellent.
And
I think he's one of the people that have benefited most from the brand split so far.
The crowd loves him. We're not done talking about Heath either. We'll get to him a little later on SmackDown.
Poor Heath.
Enzo and Cass make their entrance. Enzo talking about having a SummerSlam barbecue and what kind of food they're going to put on the grill. How you doing? Talked about John Bon Jericho and did their soft routine. Nothing epic, but still fun all the same. Kevin Owens takes on Big Cass, but before it really could get going, disqualification just like the other match, so no surprise there. Reigns is walking backstage. Tom Phillips tries to interview him, and he says he's here to fight Rusev, and he's ready for it, but Rusev attacks him from behind. And I love how they have the strategically placed little steel beams there so they can make a lot of noise. And then Reigns gets thrown onto a table full of food backstage as well, with Fit Finlay and Scott Armstrong coming in to break things up. So basically Rusev trying to weaken him before the match, which is not for the title, but to defend Lana's honor. Oh, the primetime players are back with Bob Backlund. They take on the Shining Stars, but it took all 2 minutes for Titus O'Neil to turn on Darren Young. And look, the Shining Stars get a win, Matt. Look out. They're on a roll.
Sure.
Speaking of on a roll, Jinder Mahal.
How many times did you have to ask us to begin on the damn roll?
And Jinder Mahal takes on Neville. A short little 3-minute match there with Neville hitting the red arrow.
I'm on my mind now. McMahon
and Foley backstage, and Foley announces that Jon Stewart will be his guest at SummerSlam. 1 year after screwing over John Cena. Rollins says shows up and says he's been looking for this Demon King all day. And Steph goes, well, we don't really have anything for you tonight, so you can take the night off. Mick's like, why don't you go to the ring and call out the Demon King? So he's like, all right, I'll do it. So he goes out and does
it. Why did you do this to close the show?
Because they don't care about the third hour.
Then why did they put all the important stuff in the third hour?
I don't know.
That happened in the third hour. It happened right before the main event.
Oh, did this happen in the third hour?
Yeah. So, like, why the fuck did this not happen? This should have been the main. This should have closed Raw.
Well, there were two matches.
We can get into this debate right now. The Balor Seth confrontation should have closed the show.
Yeah,
there was
agree.
no way a match that we're going to see again in 3 days from now should have been given 25 minutes and closed Raw with a clean finish. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like, completely asinine booking. Like, it didn't make any fucking sense.
Rollins is talking trash about the Demon King.
Stop no-selling me, JB.
I'm not no-selling you. I already commented on this.
Are you... When?
I said I agree with you right when you first said it. You're not listening. You're no-selling me, jobber.
You said it so quickly, I didn't even hear you, jobber. Jobber face.
Calls out the Demon King, making fun of him and all that, and all of a sudden some jabroni gets in the ring. At first I thought...
Was it Eli Drake?
I don't know. No. I heard the guy was biting the security guard on the arm.
I heard one of them got bit.
Jesus.
Like, freaking ridiculous, dude. This dude should have gotten his ass beat. Like, for real.
I know.
Like, I'm so tired of people jumping the rail. Like, the next person that jumps the rail needs to be made an example of. Like, I really hope the next person that jumps the rail jumps when Brock Lesnar's out there. I want Brock Lesnar, because he ain't gonna give a fuck. I want Brock Lesnar to beat the piss out of this motherfucker who jumps the rail. And let it be an example to every single dumbass on the planet to never hop the rail of a pro wrestling event again.
He's gonna give him some sharp MMA elbows. And it'll be fun.
Take that little motherfucker to Suplex City.
It was funny because the cameras didn't. I mean, if you blinked, you missed it. You saw the back of the guy's head.
Yeah,
that was about it.
Really quick.
So at first, I thought Rollins bumped into the camera guy and got spooked because you know how Cole said, "Oh, he's spooked or in a trance or something." I thought Rollins bumped into the camera.
I thought Rollins played it off as best as he possibly could.
Yeah, I liked when he goes, "This is the Demon King."
Yeah, I just mean for improvising on the spot, I thought Rollins did a hell of a job. Because there were a lot of people on my timeline who weren't paying attention clearly and didn't even notice.
No.
Yeah.
So I thought he did a good job. I loved how he goes, "This is the Demon King." But no. And then Finn Balor, he got a little help from his buddy Solomon Crow and started playing with the lights and stuff. And here comes the Demon King in his full demon gear.
The King of Demons. And see,
does his full.
I have an idea.
Hold on. Does his full entrance. The crowd chants, "Holy shit!" The crowd chants, "This is awesome." They have a stare down. Rollins throws the first punch, but Balor comes back with a drop kick. Each guy hits each other in the head with kicks. Balor, that's the running drop kick into the corner, goes for the coup de grace, but Rollins goes out to the floor. And Balor runs the ropes and nails him with a somersault dive the outside of the ring. Balor gets back in the ring and poses while Rollins retreats up the ramp. A very awesome segment, and as Matt said, this should have closed the show. Yep. Let's see if your theory is going to match mine, Matt. My theory is so many people are bitching because the Demon King appeared on Raw and didn't debut at SummerSlam. A, we've seen it on TakeOver many times. This does not bother me. B, I think they're going to do something different with his entrance at SummerSlam.
Exactly.
That's why
I think they gave the basic demon entrance on Monday because the last 3 takeovers have not been typical demon Finn Balor entrances.
No, they've been like Chainsaw, Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper in December, the Chainsaw Massacre in Texas in March or April, wherever it was. And the last one was for the steel cage when he came out with like the fence cage in front of him. Remember?
Yep.
So, like, every single Balor Demon entrance that has been done at the last 3 takeovers have been special entrances. So I think they gave the basic Demon entrance to everybody on Monday because there's going to be a bigger, more epic Demon entrance on Sunday.
So you're in the camp that you were totally fine with it.
I was a little iffy on it, but after I thought about it, I came to the conclusion that I just said, and that's why I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah,
if he comes out to the exact same entrance on Sunday, I will openly admit that I had a problem with it. But if he gets an over the top entrance like he's gotten a takeover lately, and it exceeds the one that happened on Raw, then I'm totally okay with it.
Does this close the show or the WWE?
JB, you're so funny.
And that's
Dolph Ziggler closing SummerSlam. Dude, Brock and Randy Orton have a better chance of closing the show than Dolph and Dean, dude. Dolph and Dean ain't closing this damn show. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Camera's the pay-per-view's gonna go off the air with a new Universal Champion. Gallows and Anderson, Doctor. They take on the Golden Truth.
Their dry humor, dude. It's so
awesome.
Fucking good.
So people are like getting tired of it already. I'm like, well, you don't get the club, so you're not in the club, so get out.
People that don't get it, I don't even want to associate with them.
It was a short match, but the one thing I liked out of this match was the Golden Truth was serious. Like they no playtime here. They realized, hey, we're facing Gallows and Anderson. We got serious here. So the whole the Golden Truth was serious here, which was good. But quick 3-minute match to put them over. But then Kingston Woods come out and attack Gallows and Anderson from behind, and they put Anderson on the ground and tease that Francesca's going to meet the gonads of Anderson, but Gallows pulls Anderson out of the ring just before the nuts can get crushed. And I thought that was a great segment with New Day and Gallows and Anderson right there. I thought it was a good way to add more anticipation to their tag team title match. So Charlotte is backstage getting ready. Dana Brooke says she owes her an apology. Charlotte says that she's allowed Brooke to be in her spotlight and wondered why Brooke has failed her when it mattered the most. And Charlotte said next week she'll ask Stephanie McMahon to replace Brooke with somebody that isn't an epic failure. So then we get Charlotte against Alicia Fox. This lasted all of 3 minutes. First time we've seen Alicia post-brand split. Charlotte gets the win, calls Sasha down to the ring, and hello, Sasha in them leather pants. Woo!
Calm down.
But yes, we all know it was coming. Dana Brooke coming in from behind to take out the leg, and then Charlotte works on it further with the figure 8, which I like. It's going to add some psychology to the match that Banks is going to have to kind of overcome, and so I kind of liked what they did there. The world's dumbest trivia question was asked: which superstar held the U.S. title for 351 days? That'd be Dean Ambrose, and he defended it 6 times, I think.
Ouch.
Video package of Braun Strowman. Then we get Lana introducing Rusev. And Rusev and Reigns had a phenomenal 20-minute match to close Raw just a few days before they're going to fight again, which makes me think something fishy's happening here, Matt. I think somebody's coming in or returning or something to cost Reigns the match.
Who?
I don't know, but why would they give us this good 20-minute match when they're going to meet in the pay-per-view?
WWE creatives are dummy, yeah.
Oh, this just screams that something's fishy's going to happen in the match, and I don't know who. I don't know, but it just seems so fishy. But
I don't necessarily agree with you.
A good Raw though.
It was better than last week's. I wouldn't say it was amazing. But I mean, after last week's disappointment, it was definitely a better step in the right direction. I thought for a go home show, it was overall solid. wasn't great, wasn't terrible. It was somewhere in the acceptable range.
I think it checked all the boxes to get us ready for the show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said, it was good. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't awful. It was just this good, solid show. And that's like the best compliment I can give it.
SmackDown starts with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon backstage, and Orton shows up to sign the contract for his match with Brock Lesnar. And Heath Slater shows up with a fruit basket. Daniel goes, "This is to Bob," and Slater tried to say it's supposed to say boss, and he tosses an apple to Orton with it. It was kind of funny. Orton has his arms crossed. He tosses it to Orton, and it lands right in his arms. Slater says he's kind of basically kissing their ass because he realized that they were going to give him a contract before he flipped out. And Bryan says, "Well," Slater says, "Well, we're in a pickle now, aren't we?" And Bryan's like, "No, it's actually the opposite of that." Randy goes, "Well, why don't we have a match with myself and Slater later, Gator? If Slater wins, he gets a contract."
Well, he didn't even say that. They didn't even cover it.
Oh, they didn't say that?
Orton just said, "I have an idea," and then they cut to the opening song. Like they clarified later what Orton's idea was, but they never showed it on television.
Oh, Miz TV with Ziggler and Ambrose. There wasn't really much of Miz and Maurice in this one.
I think they kind of backed up and just made facial expressions the entire time, which was kind of hilarious because some of their facial expressions were great.
Ziggler and Ambrose have been having great promos to set up this match, and Ziggler, obviously Ambrose continuing to tell Ziggler that he doesn't have what it takes, and Ziggler says he's going to dig deep, and basically it's just going to take one move to put him away, and then boom, he just nailed Ambrose right there with a super kick and knocked him down. I loved it. Just kind of came out of nowhere, knocking Ambrose on his ass, and I thought it was a good promo for both of those guys, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been killing it on the mic for the past couple weeks. I still don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell of Dolph Ziggler winning the title. They haven't done anything to convince me that he's going to win on Sunday. But the promos have been good. The work has been good leading up to it, and I'm sure they're going to have a good match. But they've done nothing to convince me that Dolph has a snowball's chance in hell on Sunday.
They come back from breaking the show. During the commercial break, Miz calling out Apollo Creed, and that brought Cruz out and did a powerbomb on him. 12-man tag team match with all the tag teams in the SmackDown division. The Usos, American Alpha, and the Hype Bros against the Vaudevillains, the Ascension, and Breeze and Fandango. For a 12-man tag match and making it 8 minutes, it was kind of a clusterfuck, wasn't it, Matt?
A little bit. Just
another
a
way
little bit.
Another way to put Jordan and Gable over, though, is they hit Grand Amplitude on Aiden English for the win. 8-minute match for a 12-man tag. It was just a big old clusterfuck. Eva Marie's spectacular debut, but oh wait, she's stuck in traffic, so there's no match. And now she's stuck in wellness policy for 30 days. So
yeah, I guess I should check and see if that jobber posted any tweets while we're here.
Oh, and you know what's funny is like, what if this is all another way for her to get out of a match?
It would be hilarious if it was, but I'm pretty
probably
positive that it's not. Let me see here if this guy is.
AJ Styles goes up to Del Rio backstage, and Styles says that he saw Del Rio beat Cena on the WWE Network last year. And Styles mentioned that Del Rio put Cena out. And Del Rio told Styles that he's beaten up Cena for a long time and he didn't care for AJ. And that led to Styles saying, "Well, I'm in the main event of SummerSlam and you're not even on the card." Burn! Well, now he's definitely not on the card. With the wellness back-to-back segments of wellness policy violators. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton took on Heath Slater, but Orton would not listen to the referee and got himself disqualified 2 minutes into the match, which made us think, yes, Heath Slater's got a job! Orton went on to beat up Slater afterwards, though, doing the draping DDT and an RKO, giving a little ass kicking. Slater, after the commercials, getting checked out by the doctors, and Shane and Daniel showed up and said, hey, Heath, you won. Slater said he showed him no mercy, and Brian said, that's a good name for an October pay-per-view. And Slater called Brian Mick and thought he was the bigger megastar than that other guy. And Shane held the contract out for Slater, and Slater goes, Shane, you look so beautiful, and called him Stephanie. And so Shane took the contract away from Slater before he could even sign.
The crowd booed. Did you hear the crowd boo when he took the contract away? Like, Shane got some heat there.
The drama continues. Does he finally get the contract at SummerSlam? He's probably going to show up at SummerSlam because he's been on every show on every brand since the split.
True.
So you got to think he's at SummerSlam somehow.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be doing, but fuck, they've got 6 hours to kill. I'm sure they
do.
I'm sure maybe he'll fight Sami Zayn. I don't fucking know.
Something, Jesus. Ambrose in a tune-up match against Eric Rowan. Quick little 6-minute match there. Actually, I think Rowan. I thought Rowan looked pretty good in the ring here, though. So I think he's improving in the ring a little bit there. But a quick match to put over Dean Ambrose. Natalya and Alexa Bliss take on Becky Lynch and Carmella. And sure enough, the speaking of which, going back to Eva Marie, I liked the Naomi entrance. What did you think?
I thought it was very unique. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the gear itself, but in the dark for the entrance part, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I like the entrance.
The gear itself looks really weird. Like
Yeah,
it almost looks like she's wearing pajamas. You know, I don't know. I really like the entrance. Like if they could somehow incorporate like an entrance gear that would give her that color, and then she takes it off and has another entrance, like another wrestling gear on underneath. To me, it just looks like she's wearing like pajamas right now, and I would like to see them have something else for her other than that, because she kind of looks silly in it.
Eva Marie is, of course, trolling Becky Lynch as Becky Lynch was getting on a roll. Oh, hey, there's Eva Marie. Traffic cleared up, apparently, and she arrived. But Naomi then came out and chased after Eva. And that all ended up with, after all that confusion, Lynch put on the disarmer, and Natty tapped out.
Tap out, Natty, tap out.
Second week in a row, Baron Corbin is beating the shit out of Kalisto. But he can do what he wants, so that's fine. They show the video package between Lesnar and Orton to get ready for SummerSlam. They added to SummerSlam the following match, Natalya, Eva Marie, and Alexa Bliss against Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella. Well, about that. Del Rio and John Cena, they've had many matches for sure, but this one was a good one, a great one. So, 17 minutes.
Bye-bye.
Del Rio got AA'd into a 30-day vacation, but it was a good match nonetheless. Somebody was mentioning they were like, well, like, oh, this Del Rio and Paige thing. This is almost like Punk and AJ all over again. I'm like, I don't know about that, but
yeah, I'm not really. I'm never going to compare CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. I'm sorry. That's just no.
After the match, Styles hit Cena with a phenomenal forearm, and Styles had the microphone as he stood over Cena and said that Sunday when he beats Cena, he will be the face that runs the place. And Cena then came back out of nowhere and nailed Styles with an attitude adjustment, cleared off the table, and put Styles through the table with another attitude adjustment as Cena walks off to end SmackDown. So, Matt, SmackDown 2, Raw 1, right? Right. So what do we?
Wouldn't it be SmackDown 3, Raw 1?
Is this the fifth week?
How many weeks has it been now?
I think this is 4.
Now
or has it been 5?
I'm not even sure.
Jesus.
Damn it, JB. When was the first? When was Battleground?
Was the draft the 19th?
Was the Battleground the 24th?
Yeah, so
okay,
they've had.
So
this is week 4. This is week 4.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So yeah, this is a toss-up week. If I had to lean on one, I probably give the slight edge to SmackDown.
Yeah,
but
I think
very
SmackDown
slightly.
Yes, I mean, I think with Del Rio and Cena being a good match, Ziggler and Ambrose doing well.
Question to ask you: do you believe the booking that ended SmackDown guarantees AJ Styles to win on Sunday?
I was going to pick him to win all along anyway, so.
Like I feel the booking that ended SmackDown solidified the fact that AJ Styles is winning on Sunday.
Well, you know who might show up? The Club. They're going to be in the same building.
Yeah, I'd rather AJ beat him clean though.
I do too.
I don't want interference this time. I want AJ. I want Styles and Cena to finish clean. I want Styles to beat him.
So, SmackDown 3, Raw 1, the first month of the brand split, but a very close week, nonetheless. We're going to close up the show with some predictions. We got 3 big shows coming up here for you. Friday night, Death Before Dishonor. Saturday, NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Oh, and after that, there's a little Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz fight. And then, of course, SummerSlam on Sunday. But you think Conor's going to get the win there? Or what do you think?
I don't know.
I don't think he will.
Like he gassed out really quick against Diaz last time.
He claims he's been getting in the octagon with, like, they keep throwing fresh, heavier people at him in training, but I don't know. I don't know if that can simulate being in the octagon with a pro. I just don't. I think he's just bitten off more he can chew by going up to that class.
Yeah.
Death Before Dishonor, Friday night. Pre-show will be Candice LeRae against Veda Scott. I really don't know how to call this one because I don't know who's getting pushed in the Women of Honor here.
I don't really think this match. No offense to the ladies, but I really don't think this match matters.
4-corner survival match for the number 1 contendership to the television championship. Lio Rush, Jay White, Donovan Dijak, and Kamitachi. Matt, did Dijak lose only to win the pay-per-view match? That's what I'm going to predict. I'm going with Donovan Dijak here.
I didn't even know they were rematching, and that kind of disappoints me.
It's a 4-way.
Oh.
It's
Rush,
White.
It's the four guys that ended in the ring that show. I'll tell you right now who's winning. Jay White's winning.
I think Jay White
the ROH is kissing that guy's ass.
I'm gonna go
no offense to Jay White, but he hasn't done anything for me to go that they should be pushing this kid the way they're pushing him. But to me, I think Jay White is going to win this 4-way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dijak here. Bullet Club, Takahashi, and the Gorillas of Destiny against Chaos, which is Beretta, Romero, and Toriano. Who do you see going over there, Matt? It's basically 2 Japanese entities.
Yeah, I don't even know why this is on the card.
It's like the not really the main team for the Bullet Club either, so
it's a toss up. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Chaos here.
Yeah, why not? I'll go with you.
grudge match between Jay Briscoe and Hangman Page. I don't really see them pushing Page right now. So I'm going to go with Jay Briscoe here. What do you see, Matt?
Yeah, you got to think Jay Briscoe wins this match. I mean, unless they're really looking to push Page, and I really don't see that. But yeah, I would go with Briscoe.
This will probably be obvious. The obvious New Japan guy against ROH guy. Shibata against Silas Young. I think we're both going.
Shibata's gonna win.
Shibata. And then another one, Okada and Dalton Castle. This will be a great match. Yeah, this will be a great match, but obviously Okada's winning. But I'm very much looking forward to that match, though. Oh, gee, Matt, who are you choosing for the ROH World Television Championship? Bobby Fish or Mark Briscoe?
What do you think?
I'm actually going Mark Briscoe, too, because I think it's going to be Briscoe Dijak for the next feud for the World Television title. This will be a fun one. 3-way for the ROH World Tag Team Championships of the world. The Addiction, your champions, are taking on Tanahashi and Elgin, and Los Ignorables de Japan, which is Naito and Evil. This one's tough, Matt. I could see any of these three teams winning it. What do you got here? I could see.
I don't know what.
They put the title.
Didn't the Young Bucks just win a number one contendership match on ROH TV this week to fight the Addiction?
No, they'll fight. Well,
why the fuck is this match happening?
They'll fight the champion in 2 weeks.
That's stupid. This should have been on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this match doesn't even matter. The Addiction will retain. Like, fuck that. Honestly, I'm annoyed now that it's not the Young Bucks and the Addiction. I'm fucking annoyed. Like, I didn't look at the card before you started going it down with me, so I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. I'm annoyed.
I'm gonna go Tanahashi and Elgin.
No way.
And then Young Bucks take it from them in 2 weeks.
No.
Because I mean they gave the television title to
they put too much heat on the Addiction and the Young Bucks after the match. When the Young Bucks won, Young Bucks got to get their match. Young Bucks got to get the match against the Addiction. No, like that's what I thought was happening on Friday. I'm pissed off that it's not.
The big one for the World Championship: Jay Lethal, Adam Cole, Matt. Does Lethal's reign finally end now that he's turned face?
His reign has been so freaking long. I want to say that it should end, but just turning face, he's got a lot of traction now for new feuds. To me, it's just the wrong time to take the title off of him. Like, I don't know. This one's a really tough one to call. I'm going to go with Lethal retaining, but I'm not super confident on that. And that's only because of how long he's held the title.
I'm going with Adam Cole just for the sole fact that that's been my gut for the guy to beat Lethal for the title, so I'm going to stick with that. But at the same time, he was able to get Nigel to lift that band. So I think Cole takes advantage of Nigel lifting that band and gets the championship, and he's going to terrorize Nigel at every step of the turn.
I will tell you right now, if Adam Cole wins the championship, Kyle O'Reilly will be the one to take it from him. I'm telling you that right now.
That's a good story right there.
If Adam Cole wins the title on Friday, he will lose the title to Kyle O'Reilly. I would put any amount of money on that.
That'd be good. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, 6 matches on the card. I don't really expect anything to get added to this, right? Because normally they only have 5 matches, so. Amber Moon against Billie Kay, unfortunately, for Matt's sake. I don't think they're debuting Amber Moon to lose.
No, neither do I.
What do you see on No Way Jose and Austin Aries?
Dude, unless you're bringing Aries to the main roster, Aries should win here.
I agree.
Because if Nakamura wins the title like I expect him to, he needs a lineup of heel challengers. People like Austin Aries, people like Bobby Roode. So you got to keep those guys strong for Nakamura. I would have Aries beat No Way Jose unless he's coming to the main roster, and if he is, then I'd put No Way over.
And No Way Jose has been impressing lately, but I do think Aries is going to probably be in line for the title once Joe loses his rematch, because I just played my cards there. But yeah, I go with Aries here. NXT Tag Team Championships, the Revival against Gargano and Ciampa. I think Gargano and Ciampa get broken up. I think Ciampa turns heel, and the Revival retain. What do you see, Matt?
I see Ciampa and Gargano winning the tag titles.
Ooh. Here's a softball. Andrade Cien Almas against Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode better damn well win this match against Justin Gabriel 2.0. I will be pissed off if Bobby Roode doesn't win.
Yep, I am obviously Bobby Roode going for Bobby Roode there too. NXT Women's Title, Asuka against Bayley. I think this is Sayonara Bayley.
The only way Bayley wins this title is, and I mentioned earlier on in the show, is if Bayley wins the title and then brings it to SmackDown. Like that's the only way I could see Bayley winning the title.
It would be cool to see Bayley be the only two-time women's champion, but it just doesn't make sense to me here. So I'm going to go with Asuka. And we're probably on the same page here. Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going with Nakamura to defeat Joe.
I'm going with Nakamura as well, although the booking leading up to it has really made me question that. But I'm still going with my gut to say Nakamura is going to win. Because I just feel like Joe's had his time in NXT now, and it's time to bring that man up to the blue brand and let him do his thing. And there's not a more perfect time than the week after SummerSlam to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, you let Nakamura get the win on Saturday, you bring Joe up on Tuesday, debut him on SmackDown, have him beat the shit out of John Cena or something, and start a feud right there. You know, Cena comes out, pussyfooting around because he lost to AJ. He doesn't know what he's going to do next. You hit Joe's music. You do Joe versus Cena. And you have Joe take Cena out so Cena can go film his stupid little American Grit TV show. Book it.
Which had shitty ratings, but yet it got a second season.
I have no idea how that got a second season. No freaking clue.
And finally, here it is. SummerSlam. Summerfest. It has not yet been announced what's going to be on pre-show and what's going to be on the main show, but we have 11 matches on the card in 6 hours, so there's a lot of stuff. Wikipedia is now calling this a 2-on-3 handicap match, Matt.
Wikipedia can suck my dick. Wikipedia doesn't know shit.
What is their... I'm looking at their source.
There is no source. They just freaking made it up.
No, the source is WWE.com. Yeah, it is 2-on-3 handicap match. Alexa Bliss and Natalya against Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi.
There's no way it stays that way.
That's the way WWE.com's got it. I fully expect the good girls to get over here. It's a 6-woman tag or 2-on-3 handicap match, whatever. I fully expect the women to the good girls to get over here. What do you say?
Depending on who the Mr. Woman is, because I'm not entirely convinced that there's not going to be a sixth girl. Mm-hmm. So I mean that's going to heavily depend.
Yeah, if Nikki Bella joins them,
if the match would have went just the way it was, I'd have said Becky's team would have won. But now the whole thing's it's a coin toss. I don't know now.
Becky probably would have pinned Eva Marie to finally get back to all the weeks that she's been trolling her.
I would agree with that. That probably would have been the original finish. Probably would have got the disarmor.
Match number 1 in the best of 7 series is Cesaro.
Cesaro, baby. That'd be a pretty good.
And Sheamus.
A pretty damn good gimmick.
Cesaro and Sheamus. Who do you see winning match number 1?
It doesn't matter in a best of 7 series. I give Cesaro the win since it's SummerSlam. But I see this series going like 6 or 7 matches. So it really doesn't matter who wins. The doesn't matter.
I'm going with Sheamus because he got beat the last 2 times, so I think Sheamus is going to come out of the gates.
I would rather see Cesaro get a win on a big pay-per-view. That's why I'm going with Cesaro, but your logic dictates, and you're probably right, that Sheamus gets the first win.
And that's logic with a K, because that's WWE's logic. They don't know how to spell it.
Well, no, he didn't.
This one I keep going back and forth on. Singles match, WWE Intercontinental title, The Miz against Apollo Crews. Part of me thinks The Miz loses to go to the top part of the card, but he's facing Apollo Crews. I just don't see Apollo Crews Intercontinental Champion right now. I'm going Miz here.
I'm going Crews. I like I said earlier, I think they're strapping a rocket to him before he's ready.
Told you we'd be disagreeing a lot on this one.
And I think I'd rather see Miz retain, but yeah. I don't think he's going to.
I don't see it. I got Miz here. This will be fun. Enzo and Cass against Jericho and Owens. I'm going Jericho and Owens. I don't think this is one and done. I think this is. Well, I'll explain in a couple seconds, but I'm going Jericho and Owens on this one. Matt, you sticking with Enzo and Cass?
Definitely sticking with Enzo and Cass. And I believe that this will end the same way Y2 AJ ended, with somebody turning on the other one, and one of them is going to be a baby face and one of them is going to be a heel. And at this point, smart money would be turning KO face. Yeah, because people fucking love him anyway. And if you can give KO a good face rub as Jericho's leaving, because you got to think, sooner or later Jericho's fucking leaving, guys. He's leaving soon. So I'm saying that would work in a feud to let KO vanquish Jericho from WWE for a while.
I don't see it happening just yet. I got Jericho and Owens winning here because in the WWE Tag Team Championships, I think the New Day is going to go for Demolition. I think the New Day is going to defeat Gallows and Anderson. And Matt, you're going to probably disagree here too, right? What are you thinking about it?
I've been bouncing back and forth on this match.
This Wikipedia right now...
If Big E is not involved and Gallows and Anderson do not win, they are scorched earth on Raw. Absolutely, positively scorched earth. Unless Big E comes out and interferes, like Xavier normally would...
That could happen,
if this is a straight-up 2-on-2 match with no interference and the club doesn't win, they're fucked, dude. They're absolutely fucked. And for that reason alone, I'm going to say that the club wins the tag titles, but I'm not confident in that. I could see this match going either way, and I do not have a good feeling for the club going forward if they can't take the tag titles from the New Day on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going with New Day here because I fully expect them to break Demolition's record. Gallows and Anderson will have another turn very soon. I think Jericho and Owens will be next up. And oddly enough, if they don't break them up, I think the Dudleys defeat the New Day in the New Day's run.
No, dude, it's clearly obvious the Dudleys are breaking up.
If they could overcome possibly, but I'm thinking Jericho and Owens wins. New Day wins. They face each other the next.
I completely disagree with you. I believe that
Enzo and
Cass will face the club after the club get done with the New Day.
Yeah.
And I think Enzo and Cass beat the club. I think Enzo and Cass around Survivor Series, couple haters, couple new tag champs. I would say Enzo and Cass win the tag titles from the club at Survivor Series.
I told you this would be the pay-per-view we probably disagree the most on.
Which isn't a bad thing. That means they're booking rather decently, so we're not unanimous one way or another.
4 out of 4, we're not counting the handicap match.
Yeah, we can't.
So yeah, we're 4 out of 4 disagreeing so far. But I think we might finally agree here. Who do you got in the WWE Women's Championship match. Dana Brooke is barred from ringside. It is Charlotte Sasha Banks.
I think you hurt Sasha Banks extremely bad by dropping the title this early. I think Sasha has to win.
I think they softened Sasha up for her to make
be awful.
Yeah, I think they softened Sasha up to have the ultimate babyface comeback, and for her to get the win. It's going to be a great match, good psychology working on Sasha's leg, but Sasha's going to overcome. United States Championship, Rusev against Roman Reigns. I still think something fishy is going to happen, but I'm still sticking to my guns, too, with Rusev winning.
Especially after the clean win on Raw. If Rusev doesn't win, it's ridiculous.
Roman!
Like,
Reigns.
if Rusev would have beat him on Monday with the accolade, and Reigns would have passed out, okay, Roman's winning the title on Sunday. But the fact that Roman beat him clean, like, I feel Rusev has to win on Sunday. He has to.
I just think somebody's going to start a feud with Roman, and I don't know who it is. I can't even give you a guy off the top of my head. But I just think somebody's Roman's getting screwed somehow and not going to... because they don't want... they're not going to let Rusev pin Reigns clean. But I still think Reigns... I think Vince still has egg on his face from what Reigns did at the Battleground, getting suspended and all that. And I fully expect Rusev still to be the champ. So are you going Rusev here then?
I'm going Rusev because of how they did Raw. SummerSlam has the potential to hurt so many talents at once. Like, seriously, like, that's how bad it is. There's a chance that they could kill a lot of people in the course of one pay-per-view. And there's just some people that just absolutely positively have to win. The Club, they have to win. Sasha Banks has to win. Rusev has to win. These have to go down this way. Because if they don't, you are doing tremendous harm to the people who are going to lose on Sunday. It's just, there's no other way to look at it right now.
John Cena, AJ Styles. I figured that Styles would win this all along. I'm still going with Styles here. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, after the way SmackDown closed, I was like, yep, Styles is winning on Sunday, which I'm very happy about. Speaking of guys who have to win on Sunday, we're having a reoccurring theme here right now in my mind. Styles has to win on Sunday. So John Cena beating AJ does absolutely nothing for Cena and absolutely dismantles AJ. So there's no other way to look at it.
Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton. This is going to be a fun one. Match 15 years in the making. What do you see here, Matt?
If I'm WWE, I'm punishing Brock for embarrassing us publicly, and Orton wins. And Orton wins because the man Goldberg shows up and distracts Brock Lesnar and then gets hit with an RKO out of nowhere.
So now you're coming to my side of the fence because I said that all along that Orton. And you're like, no way at first, and now you're coming.
I've been saying ever since.
Oh, no, I don't know.
No, ever since
tape on that.
Ever since the drug stuff has come out, I've been saying that Orton should win.
I don't know. We'll have to check the tape.
Go back and check the tape, motherfucker, because I know I'm right.
I don't know. I do think Orton's going to win, though.
I do, too. And I think it will be because...
That'd be cool
if Goldberg.
That would be cool.
The man!
WWE World Championship is what we call it, I guess.
Yeah, that's...
Dean Ambrose.
I love the fact that they've gotten rid of the word heavyweight.
Yeah,
it's the WWE World Championship and the WWE Universal Championship. The word heavyweight is gone.
That's a lot of words to WWE World Heavyweight Championship. WWE World Championship it comes off the tongue a lot easier. Both of us going Ambrose.
Yeah. No, after all this time, DJB, I'm changing my mind. Ziggler's winning the title. Of course, Dean's winning.
He finally got to you.
Honestly, and you know what's sad? It's a reoccurring theme. Dolph needs to win on Sunday to salvage his character, but he's not going to.
I think he salvaged it with his
I think he could solidify himself by winning on Sunday, but he's not going to win on Sunday. So
I said weeks ago that I think Ambrose might go into WrestleMania still as champ. So I don't know.
I don't think he's going that. I think Styles beats him. I think Styles beats him even before Survivor Series.
And for the brand new WWE Universal Championship, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins.
I will bring this up. Bouncing back to Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. If Brock Lesnar wins, it will be because of Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you remember the stare down between Orton and Bray at SmackDown Tuesday?
Yep.
Bray's not on SummerSlam right now. And so, in my opinion, if Brock wins, it will be because of Bray Wyatt. Like, whoever wins this match, it will be because of interference on the other guy. That's how nobody's losing this match clean.
Yeah, got to protect both of them.
Yep, exactly.
Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. We said this on the show last week. I fully expect Finn Balor to be your very first WWE Universal Champion and close out the show.
Yeah, Finn's got to win. There's not even a question here. Finn has to win.
Seth doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't. Seth's a main guy, and Finn's only been on the main roster for a couple weeks. If he blows his opportunity on the grand stage of SummerSlam as the Demon, the Demon, the character that didn't lose in NXT for like 2 years until he lost to Joe in the cage. If you have him lose his first match in the Demon character, fuck, dude.
Yep, that's bad.
Yeah, you can't do that. Finn has to win on Sunday. This is no longer SummerSlam. This has to win Slam. Because that's really what the entire arc comes down to.
No, it has to win Fest.
Will you stop?
There you go. We just predicted about 85 matches that are going to happen this weekend.
Oh, shit.
Woo-wee. We got a lot of stuff to happen. And it's going to be a fun weekend of wrestling, that's for goddamn sure. Plus, we got the UFC fight on top of that. So it's going to be lots and lots of fun. Plus, fully expect the Raw and SmackDowns after SummerSlam to have some kind of surprises, too. So it's going to be a good run of entertainment coming our way.
Keep in mind, the Raw after SummerSlam last year saw the return of the Dudley Boys.
Yep.
That nobody saw coming.
Nope.
So who knows what we're going to see after SummerSlam this year.
Whatever truck they had them in, they did real well.
They did really good.
That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard, our big pay-per-view prediction spectacular. Well, as always, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just do a search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button.
You can even listen to us on the Xbox One now.
Yoo-hoo!
On the Cast app. I mean, how cool is that? We are on the Xbox One, brothers.
We are.
That's fucking awesome. I love it. Big shout out to Lost in the Midcard listener Sean for pointing that out to us.
Yes, for sure. So just hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time we come your way. Typically it's every Thursday and then every Monday after WWE pay-per-view. So we will be back at you next on Monday morning. Also, we are subscribable on YouTube, and the links to all that is on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Just go to the notes section. It's right there. We are also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Before we wrap things up and get ready to watch a lot of wrestling this weekend, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I'm going to be wrestled out by the time we freaking sit down to record after SummerSlam. And I mean, even more so when we record the other show a few days later. I'm really glad that it's going to be a WWE Games edition of Lost in the Midcard, because, like, the real product, I'm going to be fucking wrestled out. Like, we got ROH Friday, NXT Saturday, SummerSlam Sunday, Raw Monday, SmackDown Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll have NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic before we record. Like, I'm going to be wrestling fucking overload over the course of the next week. So if you're a wrestling fan, there ain't no better time than now. And I hope y'all enjoy it, because it's going to be bonkers.
Lots to do. Lots to do. Matt Black is on the Twitter at Rob Showtime. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the plethora of wrestling, and make sure you don't get deleted.